right? This bubble that you live in. When you step out of that bubble and you go out into the world, you put yourself into an entirely different flow of new opportunities. What is up, guys? Mao here. Today's important, okay? Because I'm sitting here on my balcony in Medellin, and every time that I look out from my balcony, from my view, I'm just in awe of the fact that I'm literally living in Colombia. And just 15 months ago, I was working at a 9-to-5, which I hated. Like, my soul felt like it was getting crushed. And in the past 15 months, I quit my job. I started from zero with this whole online stuff. I've lived here in Medellin. I've lived all throughout Mexico. I lived in Argentina. I've been to Patagonia, Chile, Brazil. I can't even name all the awesome things I've done. And this whole time I've been working and making money. You know, like, my bank account has actually gone up this whole time I've been doing this. So deciding to quit my job and start traveling and making money online has easily been one of the best decisions that I've ever made, okay? And I recently tweeted how solo traveling while starting an online business is like the modern day equivalent to like in the tribe days when boys would go out into the wilderness and have to fend for themselves, like to become men, right? I think that's like the modern day equivalent to this, because sure, you're not like in the literal wilderness, but I'm basically out here in the wilderness of life. Like, I'm completely alone sometimes, you know, I'm solo traveling. And I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I'm falling on my face. I'm having to pick myself back up and literally just learning how to survive. Like, learning things about myself, about the world, and how to take care of myself in this fucking giant world, right? And like, you know that nobody's coming to save you, right? So the fate of your life is literally in your hands, just as it is in the wilderness, right? It's like, I'm out here in the big open world all by myself with a fucking camera in my laptop. And most people are way too scared to do this, you know, and rightfully so. Like, it sounds scary, you know, and especially it feels scary before you actually do it. And when you're at your job and you're like, man, like, what if I just book a one-way ticket to Colombia or to Asia or whatever, Africa, like wherever the fuck you feel like going, right? And then you're like, oh, I don't know, but I have like a safe job and I'm making money and yada yada yada. Like, you convince yourself that whatever you're doing is what you should be doing, right? Because it's scary. Like I said, it's scary to take the leap, to take the jump. If that's you, if you are at your 9-to-5 and you feel like there's more, you have like a calling, a yearning, you're not happy with your day-to-day life, and you want to travel, you want to make money online or whatever, then you're in the right place, okay? I want to share with you the 3 biggest and unexpected ways that leaving my 9-to-5, solo traveling, and starting to make money online have completely changed my life. Hopefully, if you're on the fence about quitting your job, about traveling, and making money online, by the end of this video, you'll want to pull the trigger immediately, all right? Here we go. The first way that this has changed my life is that you realize that the world is not as big and scary as you think. Like, people in different countries, they're just like you and me. They simply just want a good life for themselves and for their families, and that's literally it. More often than not, people in other countries are way nicer than you'd expect. They know how to enjoy the little things in life. Like, when I first moved to Colombia, everybody was telling me that I was gonna die or that I was gonna get kidnapped or robbed. And that's because their only perspective that they have is what they see on the news or what they see on TV or what they hear going around. Like, nobody actually knows, unless they've been here, what these countries are like, what the people here are like, you know? And I'll tell you right now, they're fucking awesome, okay? I've only been to South America, but the people down here are like extremely family oriented, right? You see things that you would not ever see in the US, like the city shutting down entire roads for a full day just so people can go with their families to walk and skate and like enjoy the day. You know, it's like simple shit. You'll have like vendors on the streets selling stuff, everyone just hanging out, having a good time, like for no specific reason, like besides just to enjoy life. And obviously, yes, there's risks involved with traveling to a different country and living somewhere new, but that's literally with anything you do in life, you know, like People die all the time, just random car accidents, or they get robbed in the States. Like, that stuff can literally happen anywhere, you know? So are you gonna stop living your life just because of these imaginary fears, you know, and risks? I've been traveling for like 16 months now, and I've never seen anything bad, like, with my own eyes. I've never seen anybody get robbed. I've never been robbed. Everything has been fucking gravy, dude. And as long as you have like common sense and you're tapped into your intuition and you do things that feel right and you don't do things that don't feel right, then you'll literally be fine, okay? And once you see this firsthand, you realize you can basically go anywhere you want in the world and just be fine. The world becomes way more accessible to you and not as scary, okay? And this leads me to my second point, which is that you learn to trust yourself and your intuition, and you get this profound sense of trust that the world is always on your side. Once you start traveling, once you start following your heart and doing the things that you want to do, regardless of how crazy they sound or how crazy you feel when you talk about them to normie people, life just kind of seems to work itself out. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to explain, but it makes you realize that you are the only person that knows what's best for you, okay? And the more you can start listening to this, then the more that life will actually reward you, right? Like, when you completely leave the comfort of your bubble, of where you've been raised, you know, your community, your hometown, your lifelong friends, right? This bubble that you live in. When you step out of that bubble and you go out into the world, you put yourself into an entirely different flow of new opportunities, okay? You meet people that you would literally have never met in your life. Like, there is absolutely no way you would have met these people in your entire life if you just stayed home, okay? And many of these people, because of the way life works and because of the way that you just kind of naturally attract the same kind of people with the same mindsets and mentality, many of these people will teach you things about yourself and who you want to become, right? The kind of person that you want to be. They will help you on your journey because you'll be able to relate to them, right? Like, not many people leave everything they know to start traveling in search for a better, different life, you know? So you easily connect with these people like on a whole nother level, okay? And these things just straight up happen naturally. And they happen in ways you would never expect. It's like life just knows who to bring into your life. It's fucking crazy. And this not only gives you a profound sense of trust and peace in life that you could never experience unless you lived it firsthand, right? That no matter what happens, you'll be okay, right? But on top of that, it allows you to start stepping into your authentic self, because many times when you're living back at home, you're surrounded by the people that have always known you for who you've always been, it's hard to step out and to become somebody new, right? Like, people don't like it when you change. They'll be like, man, you've changed. Like, people like literally will tell you that when you start to change. They'll tell you that you've changed, like it's a bad thing. And it's like, yeah, I have changed, you know? I'm realizing all these things that I like, that I don't like. I realize that I don't like those things that you do, right? And I wanna make a change for my life. And I like all these other things that I'm kind of keeping a secret, keeping in the closet because I'm scared to like come out as my authentic self, basically. But once you start to meet other people that are on the same path, on the same journey, and you start to follow your heart, and you start to attract these people, you see that there's so many people just like you, and there's so many other ways of thinking, and you start to feel more comfortable in your own skin, right? Because anywhere you go, nobody's gonna know you, right? Like, nobody knows who you are, so you can literally just start new. You can just be whoever you want to be when you start traveling, right? Like, nobody knows who you are. Nobody has any preconceived notions of you. Nobody's expecting anything of you or expecting you to act any certain way. Like, you can just be free to be yourself, right? So, once you start doing that, once you start following your heart, and once you start meeting these people and realizing that no matter what happens, the world is always on your side, then you're just free to be yourself, right? Because you start to see that is actually the cheat code. That is how you actually attract the people that you want to be in your life, by being yourself. And you see that there's more people out there like that, so you're more comfortable with sharing yourself and with ultimately opening up new parts of yourself that you've been hiding for so long and that you're scared to show in front of the people that have known you for so long, okay? And this leads me to my third point, which is because of this, because you start to be yourself and because you're putting yourself out there in these new situations and environments, you slowly over time start to develop a network, a worldwide network of amazing friends, like all over the world. Like just a few weeks ago, I went to Chile because my friend invited me there, and I met her while I was traveling through Mexico in the jungle of Oaxaca, and we did mushrooms together, okay? And then while I was in Chile, I was just like, man, like, first of all, I was getting to experience such a unique part of Chile because she had been living there for 10 years, or over 10 years, like fucking her whole life, and I basically got to tap into like the authentic community, underground community there, which was fucking awesome. And the whole time I was just thinking like, dude, if I would have never left and followed my heart to go to live in Oaxaca, which was just like a random thing that I wanted to do for like no apparent reason, then I would have never met this girl. And then I would have never been in Chile right now. It's just like, it's crazy, okay? But I'm kind of going on a tangent because once you start traveling, you start meeting so many cool places in all the places you go to, right? And sometimes they're locals and sometimes they're other travelers. But the coolest part about this is that like, before you know it, you literally know someone in like every corner of the world, right? And because you connect with them on these deeper subjects and just on a deeper level, because if they're travelers, then you connect with them on the fact that they don't want to do the things that everyone expects them to do, right? Like they want something different, and they're just like you. So you connect with them, and then you go on like crazy adventures together. Like I said, with this girl in Oaxaca, we did magic mushrooms together in the forest, just like super random, and then you build like strong relationships with these people, right? Like stronger than just casual people you meet like in your hometown just passing by that you see like in the city, you know? More often than not, they'll be like, dude, you're welcome where I'm from anytime. Like anytime you need a place, anytime you need somebody here, like let me know. And before you know it, you have people you can hit up in like every single country you go to. It's fucking cool. It's literally one of the coolest things. I've literally met some of my best friends either online, who I knew were traveling, and we ended up meeting up in different places. It's like, oh shit, you're in Argentina too? Like, oh shit, you're in Colombia? Like, dude, let's link, you know? And this comes from me just like talking about and sharing my experiences and journeys online, on Twitter, right? Or I just simply just meet them by being out in the wild, in the open, like at a cafe. Or I met one of my good buddies, Jason, in the elevator because he was staying in the same building as me, and he also happened to be from Texas, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, how cool is that? I met him here in Medellin last year, and he's like one of my best buds now. We're in Argentina together. I'm gonna go hang out with him in Spain. That would have never happened if I would have never left my bubble into the unknown and I just following my heart, okay? So these are like the unexpected things that have completely changed my life since I've started traveling and following my heart, and I quit my job and I started doing this online money thing, okay? And now you're probably wondering, like, how do I start making money online? Well, it's really not that hard, okay? I'll make more videos about this, and I'm making a whole freedom blueprint so that you and whoever can learn the intros and take this online money thing that just sounds like some crazy, like far-fetched thing, and just make it consumable and easy to understand, okay? Because it's really not that hard, and almost everybody with a fucking laptop and half a brain can figure out how to make money online. It is really not that hard, okay? As long as it's in line with your purpose. Like, you don't, the thing you do for money doesn't have to be in line with your purpose, but your purpose might be to leave your fucking job and to start traveling. So that's gonna make you want to figure this out so that you can do that, live out your purpose of traveling and meeting other people and just growing and bettering yourself at life, okay? So it's not out yet. But feel free to sign up to my newsletter and you'll be the first to know when it comes out, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and if you want to chat, just hit me up. If you feel stuck at your 9 to 5 and you want more, just literally do it, okay? Pull the trigger, make the moves, book the flight. I can't explain it besides my own experience, but everything will work out, okay? Trust, it will work out. Alright guys, much love from Colombia, and deuce!